The Green Bay Packers with a tough 34-31 loss against the Detroit Lions. And I'm going to get more in depth tomorrow and talking sports with Evan on more details of the game. But it was a tough loss as a Packer fan. It was a tough loss overall. The first half for majority, I should say the first two, maybe three drives of the Green Bay Packers literally made 0 cents on offense. No running the football really at all. They tried to put the ball through the air, and they got away from what worked two frickin' games in a row. They got away from what worked. They had a punt, and a fumble. The first three possessions of the Green Bay Packers, they went 5 plays for 19 yards. With a penalty mix in there, 3 plays for 0 yards, 2 plays for 27 yards. The Packers went away from what was been working the last 3 weeks, which was leaning on the running game. In the first 3 possessions, they didn't run the ball at all. And that was probably the biggest reason why the Packers lost this game. They lost the game in the first half because they went away from what was working during the course of their 3-game winning streak. There were some other areas mixed in there as well. The defense could not make a stop when they had to make a stop, which has been a problem for like the last 10 to 15 years, basically since the 2010 season. The defense can't get off the field when they have to. That has been the problem. The Lions were 4 of 5, I believe, on 4th down conversions. The one time they got a 4th down stop, Quay Walker, Xavier McKinney, and I want to say Wilson made a big stop on 4th down that the Packers ended up scoring on. Outside of that, the Lions scored every single time on They converted every single time on 4th down and scored a touchdown right before halftime as well. And that's not even getting into the fact that there was some bad calls officiating in this game. There was a blatant hold on a pass play that went for a touchdown that favored Detroit that Nixon got held on. Now, does Nixon get the sack on the quarterback? I don't know. But he clearly got held, and the Lions end up scoring a touchdown that tied the game at 31 all. Or maybe I should say put them up 31-28. Sorry. It put them up 31-28. That was a crucial play in the game. And then a pass interference on Christian Watson when Christian Watson was clearly running his route. To me, he was running his route and the Lion player stepped in front of him and flopped, that drew an offensive pass interference on a play that scored a touchdown by the Green Bay Packers that would have forced the Lions to have to score a touchdown at the end of the game. Those are 2 huge no calls that happened, or one huge no call and one huge penalty that happened. And then right before the 2-minute warning, which got Matt LaFleur really riled up, there was a play where they should have called offensive pass interference. Instead, the Lions player went out of bounds with 2:01 to go in the 4th quarter. That instead of a offensive pass interference 15-yard penalty, it put the Lions in position to run out the clock. And I'm not blaming the refs. The Lion fans, do not come after me. I'm not blaming the refs. But that was a crucial no call after you called Christian Watson for doing the exact same thing when the Packers tied the game at 31. The Packers should have took the lead. Instead, you throw a flag and force the Packers to then have to replay the down, and they have to kick a field goal. So there's lots of reasons why the Packers lost this game. A poor coaching performance in the first half, a defense that couldn't get off the field in key situations, and some questionable head-scratching situations by the Zebras that really contributed to this 34-31 loss. So going to go more in depth tomorrow, but Lion fans, I guess, feel free to come after me. but 2 games the Packers have played the Lions where the Packers have just beat themselves. So this has been Talking Sports with Evan, Sports Flash, a longer Sports Flash than usual. I will be with a podcast Friday evening going more in depth about the game. Follow me on Twitter at Evan with Sports, on Facebook and on Twitter, Talking Sports with Evan.